Beke. I think the brother to Emeka Beke, interesting there. There is God Give Gillis West. Good names, I should say. Good names in terms of I've seen some of the works of some of the people listed there. But I do have my concerns, and that's why it's going to be a conversation for the hour. And joining me for the conversation is a voice you know. I was going to say popular voice, but then I would go with a voice you know. I think it was here last week as well, on Wednesday. I'm talking about J.C. Williams, Esquire. He's also an APC stakeholder, but more importantly, a socio-political commentator here in Rivers State. You're welcome, J.C. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much, Kalad.
All right. I don't know if it's the rain that is making me sound the way I'm sounding, or I don't know if it's the pressure from the political arena in Rivers State. But JC, let's see, how many names now did I mention? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 names, if I'm not mistaken, were sent to the Victor Oko-Jumbo led Rivers State House of Assembly, and they perform legislative activities, and they screen these individuals. Can you help me, because I want to be educated, and I believe a lot of people listening want to be educated as well. Where are they drawing the legal backing from? Because if my mathematics is good, they're just 3 in number. But if my knowledge serves me right, according to the law, they're supposed to be 32 in number. One has died. INEC has come out to say we recognize just one vacant seat, and that's the one of the person who died in Kana Constituency 2, or Kana State. There's a way they call it, the State Constituency 2 Kana local government area. So, what's your take on that? Where are they drawing legality from?
Thank you very much once again for the opportunity. They draw their powers from the law of the land, which is the Constitution. And don't forget that sometime last week, the High Court of Rivers State has ordered that my friend Martins Amehule and his co-travelers should stop parading themselves as members of the Rivers State House of Assemblies. You are aware of that? And
that's Justice Charles Wally's
That's
court?
correct, yes.
Okay.
And then you and I will also know that since that order, you have not heard the jamboree sitting of these people, meaning they are aware of the order and you know the consequences when you disobey the order of court. Okay. So if you're talking of where this, and when he said one member from Kana constituency is dead, let me tell you, literally speaking, 27 assembly members are dead.
But you see, that doesn't sound well on radio.
No, I say literally. Okay. That's what it means.
Okay.
That's why these 3 persons who are alive, or the survivors, will continue the business of government.
Let me come in here now, JC. INEC is the one who's supposed to conduct new elections.
That's correct.
If there were vacancies, right?
That's correct.
And last week, INEC came out and said, we've seen the letters from Edison, we've seen the letters from Victor, but what we recognize according to the law is just one vacant seat, pending when the courts, the plethora of cases are dealt with. Now, you've just said that last week, Justice Charles Wally, I hope I'm getting the name right.
That's correct.
Gave the judgment, or an interim order, I think that's the right way to put it, restraining the Martin-led assembly from parading themselves or performing the duties of legislators. However, before then, in the Federal High Court, there was also, a judgment restricting the Rivers State government and the police and every other authority of governance from failing to recognize the Martin Amewule-led assembly as assembly members, in terms of not withholding the monies due them, in terms of not withholding the money necessary for the running of the assembly, and also not withholding police security for the legislators. So even if it's not exactly the same, but does it not seem like a conflicting judgment, that of Justice Charles Wally?
No, it doesn't. No two cases are exactly the same. Put simplicity, the order of Honorable Justice Wiley said, stop parading yourself as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Stop.
But does it not? Yet again,
it doesn't.
Wait, let's go somewhere. Like I said, we're learning. People like me are learning. So Justice Charles Wiley says stop being legislators. But another federal high court had said don't stop paying these people. So now, if you say stop parading,
okay,
let me go with my layman. Okay. You know, so if you now say stop, it means.
I hope this is working.
Yes, it is working. I can hear you. You can hear yourself. If you say stop, that means you're also telling the government to stop paying these people. So that's where the conflict comes in.
No, wait. The question put in perspective is which of these orders came first?
The Federal High Court.
Yeah, that one said don't withhold whatever that is due these 27 persons. Give them. In other words, that one say they are still assembly members. Because if they are not assembly members, what is due them will not be given. For nothing will be due them in the first place. Now, that's, of course, I understand that the governor made that order. And then after that, this order now came to say, stop. If you have been given what is due you, and this one now came to say, you are no longer. Will the person who was giving you what was due you continue to give you?
Sorry, are you saying, because now lawyers, you people know how to confuse society. Now, are you saying that because the Federal High Court did not categorically pronounce, that means it did not make mention as to the legality of the 27? Because for it to have said don't withhold, that means the court recognizes the fact that they are still lawmakers.
That is what I'm saying, Kalada. If the Federal High Court in Abuja have said I recognize you, so whatever that is
then
due
can a high court again not recognize them?
That's why no two cases are the same, exactly the same. This one, depending on what you went to ask, what you are asking the court to do for you. You understand? They went to court in Abuja asking for certain things, and court obliged them and gave them those things. And another person went to court, another court, and said, this is what I want. And court gave the person what he wanted. So,
and in your opinion, and you're not sounding political, I need to confirm.
No. What I'm going to do is the position of the law. You obey the law, and anything that the law did not say, don't add your own, don't subtract. Do exactly what the law say. If the law say, give them whatever that is due them, what that means that court have recognized that they are members of the assembly. Right? Me and you here were not assembly members, so court cannot say, come and pay Williams and Kalada the entitlement as assembly members. Is it possible? It's not possible. So if that was done, and then later another court say, stop parading yourself. If you stop parading yourself, are you still entitled to anything?
Let me ask you a question. Could it be that the court has been misled in any of the courts?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not counseling any of those matters.
Because in the course of my
that's why we have a P court.
We're going somewhere. In the course of my doing hard facts, I've got to learn a lot of legal terms, and I do hear that usually when a case is filed, you're supposed to file, is it something that talks about the multiplicity of the case. You're smiling. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I understand where you're going to. If a particular case is filed, subject matter, parties, everything the same with this other one filed here, right? It is the duty of the counsel in the matter. The judge is not spirit. It's not God to know everything. It's the duty of the counsel to say, my lord, this matter is already pending before a learned brother.
And that was not done, or is
that
it
was not done?
Is it because it's an ex parte order?
I wouldn't know whether it's because, you see, it is only when I see the processes in court. You understand? I will now compare and contrast with the processes before the Federal High Court. But all I know is that the order of Federal High Court say give them what was due them, and then the state government obliged them. And another court say stop parading yourself. So you must also obey that order.
All right, now
until set aside.
Let's come, because there is the concern that the Victor Oko-Jumbo led assembly may be disrespecting the courts, and so we're trying to get down to the root of the matter.
I don't understand what you mean.
No, I'm saying there are concerns, but let's get down to the root of the matter. Now, INEC is a part of this system. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's INEC that would bring about elections.
That's correct.
So if INEC chairman says let's wait for the courts, could the Victor Oko-Jumbo led administration have waited a little bit longer as well?
I see, that is the beauty of this whole thing. INEC have come to state their position clearly.
Okay.
Don't forget that INEC also acknowledged the fact that Right Honorable Edison here, where he was the speaker, wrote to INEC declaring this seat
They
vacant.
did not recognize him as speaker.
Did. They mentioned that.
They recognized his letter.
Who wrote the letter? What capacity did he write the letter? So the INEC knew that as at the time that letter was communicated, there was an acting speaker. INEC, and they also said that.
Wait. When you say they recognized him as an
rightly or wrongly, was the speaker.
Okay.
Right.
Let's
the same thing. INEC also said that even Oko-Jumbo also confirmed that same letter, rightly or wrongly, that is a speaker. Now the point is, the Oko-Jumbo led assembly. Why INEC have said there is no vacancy until they hear from the court? And courts, rightly or wrongly, have said stop parading yourself.
But that's an interim. It's not permanent.
No, whether it's interim for an hour until it's vacated. Let me tell you what happened when an expert order is given.
You've taught us on the show. But my question is, it is pending the determination of the matter on ground. That's what the order did say. So it's not permanent.
Let me tell you, Kada.
Okay.
When an expert order, we call it interim order.
For the time being, interim.
Let me tell you, is given pending the hearing and determination of the interlocutory application.
Okay.
Now, interim order stays for only 7 days.
Okay.
After the expiration of 7 days, the court may, in his wisdom, in her wisdom, extend for another 7 days. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
Now, before the interlocutory, that's what we call it motion on notice. Before that motion on notice means that the other party will also have to come and argue why the interlocutory injunction will not be given pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit. Now, in this case,
let's pause this court process. We're in court. We have a commercial coming up. So after the commercial, we'll talk some more. Just stay tuned. Yes, we're looking at an interesting issue on the show. 28 minutes gone past 4 p.m. And I've got J.C. Williams, Esquire, a lawyer and socio-political commentator with me. And of course, a politician. He plays politics in River State. And we are looking at the political intrigues, or no, I should say, the political legal intrigues in River State. So, just in case you do not know, we had Victor Oko-Jumbo led assembly screen some commissioner nominees, about 9-10 of them today, and we're looking at the legal backing behind this action. And my guest has been arguing that there are court judgments to that effect, and I'm saying yeah, I agree, there are court judgments, but what about these other court judgments that stopped such action? So is the Victor Oko-Jumbo led assembly not jumping the gun? So let's get back to J.C. Williams. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so you were explaining before the break.
Victor, the speaker, the right honorable speaker of the State House of Assembly,
interesting,
Victor Oko-Jumbo, is on track. As I speak, there is no problem, there is no constitutional crisis in Rivers State. The point is, a court has made an order. That order must be obeyed until either set aside by that same court or appellate court.
Okay.
As it stands today in Rivers State, the order of the High Court of Rivers State is to the effect that the 27 former assembly members should stop
sorry,
and have stopped.
Sorry, when you say former, did the court call them former, or the court just say stop for now?
When you stop,
for now,
when you stop,
it's an interim now.
No, let me tell you something. You are adding your own English
no,
to
I'm
that
trying
order.
to understand the
Stop
question I'm asking.
parading yourself. God didn't say stop for now.
Wait now, it's an interim order.
Whether interim, the English of
is it going to
for
expire?
now is your own English.
It's the interim order going to expire.
It doesn't lie with you and I.
No, there's a
it
question.
But I've told you that before. That after 7 days,
it expires.
It expires, but it doesn't just stay on it and expire. The court has another power, inherent power, to extend it again.
So my point, it has an expiration. So they will get to the point where the court will no longer extend it.
When you get there, you will know whether court will extend or not.
All right. So I just wanted to know. So it has an expiration date.
That is the discretion of the court.
Okay.
Cool. The court is God.
So now the another angle I brought was, could we have waited for all of these court cases to be dealt with? Because you mentioned that when you're filing a case, you put in the parties, you put in who is the defendant, who is the accused, if this case is in another, you put in all of those documented. Now that we have all of these people in different court cases, could we not have waited? Because just as there is the court case that backs this, there is the court case that would also back the other party, and that's even the NJC. I don't know if you've seen the report. I don't know if you've seen the weekly law report, but the NJC last week did make mention of certain justices who
was anyone mentioned in Rivers State?
Yes, but their case was dismissed. Dagogo and Wogu. I'm going somewhere. But today, the CJN has now made mention, and I do believe, because I don't think there are any other cases in Nigeria where we're having a conflicting judgment from courts of coordinate jurisdiction. And I'm saying this because the CJN has come out to say it is an aberration that we're seeing conflicting court judgments.
You see,
I suspect River State is what.
Well, that is your suspicion.
Okay,
you are making a blanket statement.
I agree.
I'm not here to discuss the CJN.
Okay,
but in his capacity as CJN, you don't need to speak in parable.
Okay,
if Mr. A has done something wrong, there is a legal way of handling those things. So I don't want to talk about
which is educate us, please.
I don't think that's why. As a lawyer, I don't need to discuss my problem as the legal profession here. That is how NJC handles people like that.
Okay,
it's not in the studio we discuss that.
Okay,
yeah, right. That is my farm. I've told you that separately. So NJC should handle such judges or lawyers or whatever.
Yeah.
Now the point is, Canada, you and I know the case of Rivers State. You don't even know how many cases are in court as I speak.
About 8 of them.
That is the one you know. There are some that the FCT minister the other day saying that if a judge a ruling was gotten at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. meaning there are some if
that was you're the one you're the one giving a literally.
Wait, it's not literally. He said it that they shouldn't mind ruling that was obtained by 4 a.m. A lawyer said that. So if a court will sit by 4 a.m.
But, see, now that's what I'm saying. There is no evidence to that effect.
What I say? Something he said on.
He said it does not mean it's there is evidence.
But he said it. He is one to provide evidence.
Okay.
But I'm telling you what he said.
Okay.
A lawyer said that court sits by 4 a.m. and give ruling. That is it. So that you say that there are so many cases, even you and me and you don't know, that they know. But the one I'm talking is the one we know here. If a loot, I know that this one is out. I don't want to talk of the one I don't. In Abuja today, in fact, there is virtually no court in Abuja that doesn't have a matter connected to River State.
That's also you just accused me of a blanket statement, but you've also just made another.
No. But River State is not the only court. It's the only state in Rivers in Nigeria. They are all matter. Kanu, you heard of one of the APC national chap. There are rulings. It's not just peculiar to River State. What I say is that let's come back home. The High Court of River State has made an order, and my dear friend Martins and his friends have obeyed that order, and have obeyed that order. River State, the running of government will not stop running because somebody has been asked to stop parading himself. Government will run. Look, we cannot wait.
Okay, what does the law say about the appointment of commissioners? Can you run us through that?
Of course, what the law says that the governor will appoint, will make nominations and send the nominees to the assembly for screening, and if they are so cleared, the governor give them portfolios.
So now, could the governor, in his own wisdom, waited?
You see, you have come back to what I just said a few seconds ago. Canada.
No. The reason why I'm asking is
why should the governor wait? Let me ask you. Why should the governor wait?
I want to tell you now. I do believe for those of us who are non-partisan, who are not really interested in politics, but we just want good governance. Some of us are thinking, okay, Goodluck Jonathan made a very great statement yesterday. Everybody, shoot your swords.
That's
drop, whatever problems you have. Let's wait till the next election, then you guys can challenge each other. Now, could we now say, could we have said, there are a plethora of cases. Let's just like INEC is saying, let all these cases be dealt with. Once these cases are dealt with, whatever the outcome is, because there will be an outcome. It may all end at the Supreme Court, right?
Yes.
There would be an outcome.
You see the funny thing about Nigerian legal system?
Yeah, let's hear you. And that's why I asked you about the CJN
Let me
statement.
tell you something.
Okay.
Somebody will deliberately, consciously go and commit a crime.
Okay.
Or doing what is wrong, knowing that this thing I'm doing is wrong. And the person tells you, go to court. Knowing that before you go from High Court to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, and the judgment comes finally, the judgment has become academic.
Okay.
That is why nonsense happens in this country. So River State will not do that. That somebody deliberately took a wrong step, then he has left the party that brought him. Then I say we are in court.
But have you people ever thought about the fact that the court could swing the pendulum?
That's correct. The government of the day will run. Government will have to go on. You don't look.
But not appointing commissioners would not stop the government from running with it.
Canada, let me tell you something.
Okay.
The office of the Ministry of Finance, Office of Government Finance. Okay, imagine Office of Attorney General. One ministry or one office that the Constitution recognizes in the Constitution is the appointment of Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. Because if you don't appoint, if that office, let me tell you, if vacuum is created, people will suffer. Let me tell you,
is that really a vacuum?
When the former Attorney General,
Professor
Adango, resigned, do you know how many emails were suffering?
So are you saying the permanent secretary ministry?
No. Let me tell you something. There is a case. It is an authority. There are certain things the permanent secretary cannot do. Let me tell you one of them.
All right, tell me.
To issue a fiat.
To what kind of fiat? Any kind of fiat?
Any kind of fiat.
Okay.
The permanent secretary cannot do that. And do you know how many inmates, how many Nigerians will suffer for the absence of the Honorable Attorney General? which was happening already. So you don't expect the governor to sit down and cross leg and say, okay, let's wait how long? Wait till 2007 before government of the will move on? No.
So why is the will of justice so slow?
You know, CJN has been talking. One of these days, you will have a press this thing with him. You ask him that question. It's not me to answer that question.
Well, you're a lawyer. You just said that.
I am a lawyer. I'm just a lawyer.
You just called it your farm. That's the reason why.
Yes, I'm a lawyer, but that's my farm. That I might not be the owner of the land.
Oh, I see.
I might not be the owner of the land. I could be farming there. So the point is, the government of Rivers State has to move on, and that's what Governor, His Excellency Sims Fubara, is doing. Today, let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
That's like when you spoke about that, literally speaking, that the 27 assembly members are dead. Call it temporarily dead, or however I want to put it. And that the other 3 who are alive, the survivors, cannot go home and sit down and be sleeping. They have to do the work of the assembly.
Okay. Now let's look at this. I don't want to play politics. I want to look at it from a point of legality. So if INEC had come out to say, oh, we can't do anything about it because the matters are still in court. If you're now saying that Justice Charles Wali's decision is binding, can we then go to INEC and say, INEC, the seats are vacant? Now, with that court, and that interim order.
You see, let me tell you something, Kalada. I am not privy to the processes before Honorable Justice Wale. I don't know what the
council.
No. I don't know what the reliefs are. Now, but as we speak, Honorable Justice Wale gave the order to the Fed that stop parading yourself as assembly members.
So is it something INEC can recognize? That's what I'm asking.
Whether INEC, first and foremost, I don't know whether INEC is a party to that suit.
Okay.
You understand? Because for INEC to recognize and act according to the order, meaning that INEC must be a party to it.
Okay.
That's why I told you I am not privy to that process. Whether INEC is made a party. Now, but assuming, but not considering that INEC is a party. The point is, stop parading yourself. They will remain like that. They will not be parading themselves until that other judgment they expect, either from the court of Honorable Justice Wale or any other court, whether in the one in Abuja, that will give the nod to say, okay, you, by virtue of 109, section 109 of the Constitution, you cease to be. Cease. You are no longer, and stop parading are not the same thing.
Okay, that's what I was trying to understand now.
Yes.
So
you are no longer. So that is emphatic. So
that means there is the possibility that they are still lawmakers, but they are not allowed to practice, or they are not allowed.
It's just semantics. That is it's like you. It's like me now. Say you are. I'm a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, but I'm not allowed to practice law in Nigeria. So I mean, how does that sound?
But you've just said there's a difference between.
That's why I got differentiated. But then, don't fall into that kind of category.
Okay.
Don't fall in there where they say you are a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, but you are not allowed to practice law in Nigeria. So what are you? Are you truly a barrister in Nigeria?
All right then. So the lawyers just end up confusing us even the more. But let's go to the phone lines. Let's get your thoughts. Every day, one new drama in Rivers State. Currently, we have new commissioners, nominees. I'm wondering what your take is about that, because I'm looking at it from the divide. When Martin led assembly, can we ask the question, shouldn't they be waiting for the courts to make a final decision? And when I say courts, because they're plethora. Yesterday we talked about it, rivers of court cases. So shouldn't we waiting for the rivers to tide, how do they say it now, for the waters to come down? Shouldn't we be waiting for that? Why are we, making it all? Maybe I should throw one more question to my guest. So what if the pendulum, not preempting the court in any way, but what if the pendulum swings in the direction of Martin Amelia and is like you called it, group of friends? What happens then?
You see, that is the beauty of the law. In our jurisprudence, anything is possible. If tomorrow the Federal High Court say, we take it, but for today, the court have not said so. for today.
But would it not complicate things? Because a lot of things have for instance, there is the Edison Eye part of it, there is the Victor Oko-Jumbo part of it, because budgets is believed to have been passed, Edison Aye's time as speaker, factional speaker, I should put that. Victor Oko-Jumbo has come in also, and then commissioners have been sworn in. So what if, the court, the final decision now recognizes Martin Ameole that he never, and his group of friends never lost their seats?
Legally speaking, as a lawyer now, this is not permutation.
Okay.
This is constitutional issue. No, let me. Right. You see, constitutional issue is not something you permutate. I speak to you as a lawyer, except today the Constitution of Nigeria is amended. Otherwise, this pendulum will not swing anywhere. That they will say Martins and his good party assembly members.
But you see now,
it's a constitutional matter. It's not.
You are a lawyer, and I see now.
It's not land matter where you go and speak all manner of grammar.
Jesse Williams, you are a lawyer. You've said it. Two lawyers can go in and argue, and the judge can say it's based on how you understand the Constitution, and if you argue more correctly, you could win the case. And I'm saying, what if the pendulum, the lawyer for Martin and his group of friends, argue very correctly, and the judge decides to swing in their favor? And by the way, anything can happen.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to preempt the court. I've just asked a simple question. Let's even assume it's for academic purposes. What then happens? Because I have the concern that all parties could have waited for the court, just like INEC. So what happens if the court swings?
You have answered it already. He said academic purpose. There are some things, there are some matters brilliantly argued, because it has taken a long time, and the judge will give you judgment, and then it becomes academic. And what have you achieved after all? That's the point. Don't forget that this matter will go to Supreme Court.
Okay.
And our legal system.
Okay.
So eventually, I foresee it being academic exercise at the end of the day.
So what then happens?
Nothing will happen when it's academic. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
All right. Let's go to the phone lines. See, it's really difficult arguing with a lawyer. You've seen it firsthand in the studio, but let's quickly get your take. Like I was saying, when I wanted to open the phone lines a while ago, we had about 10 names. Someone should help me with the right figure. I mean, I had the document not too long ago.
About 9.
About 9, right? 9, 10. Okay. So if you're listening, what's your take on all of this? Really, are you as concerned as I am? Are you as worried about a possible constitutional situation in the state? Because maybe the CJN is right, and maybe he is making references to Rivers State, conflicting court judgments, high court. I wonder why nobody's going to an appellate court. Why is everybody afraid of the appellate court? Is it because they don't want the matter to get to the Supreme Court as speedily as possible? We non-lawyers are asking all these questions. We politicians are also thinking in all of these directions. But let's get your thoughts. Enough of me talking. Time is fast spent. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number for WhatsApp messages could be audio or text format, 0809 030 6416. Now let's start with this one. It says, "Good day, Mr. Kalada. My name is David from Port Harcourt. I give kudos to your guest. The lawyer is an example of a sound mind, smart and good Rivers man. Please let the governor keep working for the poor masses who are hungry for good governance. Until the court says otherwise, we are happy with Governor Sim. Let other parties stop deceiving the public." Okay. This one says, "Kalada, the pendulum swung that way, they will go to the Supreme." Okay, if the pendulum swung that way, or is this swing that way? I don't know which is the correct English right now. But let's say this one. It says, Ida from Inkoro. Kalada, good evening. I seriously commend your guest in the studio. He's doing well. He's speaking my mind. Honorable Oko-Jumbo remains the authentic speaker. It's not in our place to say. The courts will eventually. But Olu JZ says, good evening, Kalada. Prior to the 2023 presidential election, Rivers was a PDP state. When the immediate past Governor Wike lost in the presidential primaries of the PDP, what did he do? He mobilized a good number of his state PD supporters to vote for the APC candidate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They voted and he won in Rivers State. Even the incumbent Governor Sim voted against his PDP. Can you tell me that there were no PDP supporters who voted for Atiku? Finally, Some of the supporters of Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, were supporting Governor Sim before the defection. People like Uche Secondus. All these and more are what the court will examine before establishing whether there were problems in Rivers State that could lead to the defection of the 27 House of Assembly lawmakers. Therefore, the pendulum could swing in any direction. Okay, all right, quite a good argument. Samson from Elime. Samson, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yes, Canada, good day.
Yeah, greetings. Quickly, there is no time. Let's get your thoughts.
Your guest is studio also.
Thank you.
Canada, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Quickly, let's get your thoughts. No time, please.
Okay. Yes, I want to start with your guest in the studio that all he's saying to you there is not political. He's saying it emphatically, and that is the position of it.
Okay.
But there is no vacancy in the office, and the government will continue to run. But there's a clear constitution, very clear constitution, that also sack the 27 lawmakers. And within this period, even when they are waiting for the interpretation of that constitution, that part of the constitution, they are saying the government will continue to run with the other 3 members that are remaining. Yes. So, whatever they are doing, it's right. According to this law, they are doing it right. Screening of the constitutional is a good step to go. So, they should go on with it.
All right, thank you very much. I should go on with it. Samson says, God's power from Eche. God's power, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Yes, so good evening, Canada.
Yeah, greetings.
Like last week, too, I said the same thing. What is actually holding the court to interpret and tell us the position of the lawmakers? Whether they are or they are not. What is that thing that is holding the judiciary? Is there any for somewhere that is holding them? Because by the time they come up and say, they were cases in the PDP, right to defect and they are still members. I think everything will rest because they have made the universities in a high tension.
All right.
If they come and say, no, because you said that there were no political party, there was no crisis in the PDP. What we have was the crisis in the House of Assembly. It does not affect PDP. You are no longer there. And they could go and run election.
All right.
Each day, River State is there. Almost all the courts in Nigeria, River State, that is there. Judiciary, commissioner, head of service, every time. Can't we have a rest and think of all that things to do in River State? Pensioners have not been taken care of.
All right.
Old people are there languishing. Why not concentrate and find a solution to this problem? Will it be like that? Infinity cannot be infinity.
All right.
Let them find a solution. That's my second one.
All right, thank you. He doesn't care about where the pendulum is swinging. Just give River State governance. That's his concern. Well, let's take a few messages so we can say goodbye because we've got commercials. Let's listen to this.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada and your girls on the studio. My name is Bakata from Ozoa community. I think that the law has made it clear for we to understand that the Martin Amewule-led House of Assembly has lost their seat. I don't see anything that will bring them back. The law remains sacrosanct. Section 109, as stipulated, is sacrosanct. They have lost their seat. INEC should come and conduct election for us. But if they are saying for court to rule first, let's see what plays out. But I know they have lost their seat. The law is clear for we all to know. The man in your studio is telling you the right thing. They have lost their seat.
All right. Someone sent in a message, said they are 8 and not 9, and then he sent me the government memo. But what I have here, Charles BK 1, Collins Onuwa 2, Solomon AK 3, Peter Mede 4, Eloka Tasia Madi 5, Basone Benibor 6, Sidney Barra 7. Okay, you're right, there are 8 of them. Okay, yeah, you're 8 of them. I think I counted the Attorney General and that made it 9. So yeah, you're correct. Let's see this one. This one says, Canada on the Rivers crisis. They should add the case study of Rivers State to the law curriculum in Nigeria. Francis from Oigbo. And I do agree with you. Because even we, the layman, even me, the layman, it's getting to learn a lot. My question to your guests, one, I want to find out from your guest if there is any provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended that empowers the State High Court to restrain the legislative powers or function of a House of Assembly in Nigeria. 2, does a matter in court vitiate or nullify the position of an elected officer in Nigeria when the matter has not been exhausted in court? 3, is it legally right for a party to a matter in court to assume finality when the matter has not been determined? 4, does the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, Motosha, have prominence in the political crisis in Rivers State, or its nullity, and what made the judgment a nullity? 5, by virtue of Section 92, subsection 1 of the Grant Norm, can a court elect a speaker for a House of Assembly in Nigeria? Mifiaga, with those questions.
You want me to answer how many questions now you called? Well, what is question number 1?
Number 1, can a State High Court deal on a legislative matter?
Very well.
Is there anywhere in the Constitution? Because a lawyer was here yesterday when said it's only a Federal High Court that can deal on legislative matters.
That's not correct.
Okay.
What was before the State High Court? That's why I say I don't argue blindly. I would like to see the processes before the Honorable Justice Wale.
Okay.
Before I know whether there was the issue of jurisdiction or not.
Okay. All right. My time is up. My time really is up. I would have to say my goodbye to you. But do you have any other thing you want to say?
Yes. I want to encourage the governor of Rivers State.
Okay.
To keep serving Rivers people. And also to tell the State Assembly, as presently constituted, to do their legislative function.
Okay.
Nothing stops them nothing stops them.
We'll be right back. Just wait.
Let them do their work.
In a world where wildflowers only bloom for a few